Congratulations to video. We're going to talk about why this stock is a must buy and keep dang buying nonstop this stock week in and week out. We're going to talk about
just absolutely no
that in this video. We're also going to talk about I want to explain some major changes that are going on with AMD right now. If we were to look at where AMD was a year ago versus where they are now, there's major changes going on with AMD's business model that I have to show you in this video here today. And we will quickly cover at the beginning of this video. I'll just explain why Google stock's down, essentially. This is not a stock I personally own, but I know, it's a widely held position, Google McDougal. So I'll just quickly cover and explain to you guys why that stock is being hit. There's one favor I need from you guys. Por favor, before we get into this video, and it's for you to take 1 second out of your time and just please smash that thumbs up button on this video, okay? It's all I need from each and every one of you. Additionally, if you want to hit that subscribe button, you can certainly do that. It's free to subscribe here. 826,000 subscribers. You got to be flipping my flapjacks. Now, last night, we let the liquor talk. I can't remember everything we said, but we said a lot. Palantir, I did a Palantir video last night for you guys on the channel. So if you didn't get to see that and you care about Palantir stock, definitely check out that one at the end of this video here today. And additionally, if you're looking for me to cover PayPal and
Oh, we already covered PayPal and Estee Lauder. Let's get to his AMD. So this is Google. I got to hear what he has to say about AMD. The advanced money destroyer. We have been covering AMD and how horrible of an investment this is for a hot minute, okay? For a hot minute.
AMD. Alrighty, let's get rolling. So first off,
I feel nauseous. I'm just saying. I might barf in this. I'm just putting that out there.
You got to understand, AMD has 4 big business lines. One is data center, because we're going to look at what's going on with each of these businesses, because there's major changes going on with each business right now that I need to show you, okay? But this is the main big dog business, data center. Leadership performance in TCO across cloud, enterprise, AI workloads, right?
Well, it can't be that great. I'm just saying, data center stuff can't be all that great.
Think about all these companies spending a fortune right now, right? All the big companies, Microsoft, Google, Meta, all of them, right? Tesla. That's more data center related revenue, right? And that's where AMD comes in play. Second big business for them is client, performance and energy efficiency, productivity, AI, gaming, content creation. Then they have their gaming side of their business, right? And then they have their embedded side of the business, okay? Which could be a whole host of random things in embedded, okay? Now, if we look at revenue, first off, up 24% year over year, very strong number from 6.2 billion to 7.7 billion. Now, if you compare it versus, let's say, NVIDIA's revenue growth over the last couple of years, it looks like not that much, right? 24%, like.
Are we not going to talk about the fact that only price pays? Okay. Listen. If you buy a stock, you're not gonna believe this. Like, I don't think you're gonna believe this, Jeremy. Clearly, you watch. So, here's the deal: you're only gonna make money if you buy a stock if it goes up. I know it's a shock, but you don't make money when the stock goes down. And AMD's been going down like God, I can't think of any Texas idioms right now to say what AMD's been going down like. Y'all throw some in the chat. AMD's been going down like me after I drink a 6-pack of Guinness. AMD's been going down like God, give me something. AMD's been going down like my cell phone bill when I switched to Cricket. AMD's been going down like a falling knife, a falling blazing hot knife through butter. Right? AMD's been going down like nobody's business. AMD's been going down like a giant slide in Detroit. AMD's been going down like a stone that's sinking to the bottom of the ocean. AMD's been going down like going to downtown. Okay, yeah. AMD don't pay. If you buy AMD, you lose money. This is the advanced money destroyer. Don't you know that? There is, Jeremy, since you watch the show, since I know, I wouldn't buy this with your money, my friend. That's how much I wouldn't buy this. Heck no. You couldn't get me to buy this. He made a lot of money off the Mag 7, but most others aren't good. Well, AMD is in the aren't good category. And so here's where I'm going with all this. Come up with reasons, come up with justifications, come up with basically excuses as to why a stock, here's the word, you know the most dangerous word in investing. Type it in the chat. You know the most dangerous word in investing. By the way, Alan, he was right about cake, but cake was also in a beautiful uptrend and it had incredible relative strength. I even covered that one. You know the most dangerous word in investing when you look at all these fundamentals and you think to yourself, my valuation says that the stock should be going up. That is the most dangerous word in all of investing. AMD is much worse than should. Oh my gosh, yes. AMD, just do your homework. 10, 20, 50. If you look at a stock and it looks like this, please turn around and run the other direction. If you look at a stock and you see someone on the internet tell you to keep buying AMD and don't stop, you turn around, you come to my channel, and you tell me who that person is so I can go make that video as well. It doesn't matter what the fundamentals are. So I think someone in the chat said he had been, hang on, saw it a minute ago. He said recommended buying it when it was in the 140s. Jeremy was recommending buying one at the 140s. Now hear me out. Hear me out. You could totally buy it in the 140s. You know what? That could be an incredible place to buy AMD is in the 140s when it's going up, but not when it's coming down. Not when it's coming down, because this is such an example of how badly dips can dip. 160, 50, 40, 30, 20, under 110 this morning. It's at 111 right now, right? And then I bet you he's going to have some sort of excuse of, oh, I mean, like, I want the price to go down so I can buy more of it. Imagine it goes down 21% like it has since that 140 call, and it takes 3 years to get back to 140. I would not be very happy about that. If you told me that I have to buy an asset and it'll take me 3 years just to get back to break even, when the opposite choice was don't touch it, I'd be hella pissed. I'd be hella pissed. But by the way, let me introduce myself. My name is Christopher Ewell. I've twice been awarded top 100 people in finance. I was mentored by 5 of the market wizards, the best traders of all time. I've been successfully trading since 2009, and this is where we save time, make money, and start winning with less risk together as a team. But before we start trading, we'll continue on with today's video of the day. And like AMD is a perfect example of only price pays, right? Now, stick around. We're going to rank this out of 10, and it's not going to be good. And subscribe if you haven't already. Sorry, Jeremy.
Put me to sleep compared to NVIDIA. But let's be very clear. AMD does not have a $3 trillion plus market cap on it like NVIDIA does. AMD's market capitalization is well under $200 billion, right? So we're not even talking about companies that are remotely valued in the same ballpark, right? AMD doesn't need to come in with the ridiculous 100% revenue growth, 70% revenue growth, 90% revenue growth. They don't need to do that. They need to put up great numbers. Let's be very crystal clear about this. 24% revenue growth. I could tell you like 99% of companies, if not more than 99% of companies in the stock market, would be happy to trade places with AMD because 24% revenue growth is phenomenal. Gross margin expanded on a gap.
You know what? Those companies may be super excited to trade with AMD, but I wouldn't. I mean, like the company itself, the management, the fundamentals, the whatevers, right? That by all means, do you, right? You stay in your lane, I'll stay in mine. My lane was telling you it was going south, and it doesn't matter all the reasoning behind it.
Basis, generally accepted accounting principles, to 51% from 47%. Non-GAAP expanded to 54% from 51%. Operating income, now keep in mind, non-GAAP I think is more important, and I'll show you in just a minute in the income statement. Basically, they got a bunch of one-off charges and things.
Listen, I care so little about fundamentals that I'm going to skip through some of this. I just don't want to miss some of the juiciness when he says keep buying AMD and don't stop.
Like that going on with it versus 1.4 billion. If you look at the total fiscal year 2024, revenue grew 14%. But
if you look at 2024, revenue grew 14%. But who gives a flying flip? Who gives a flying flip when you're an investor in AMD and we go to January 1st? We go to January 1st on the chart right here. Okay. And you watch your stock go up. Let's make this bigger. Who gives a flying flip when you watch your stock go up 65%, which is actually pretty outstanding, only to turn around? And if you're still holding it, you might even be holding it at the very top to watch it go down 52% from the top to where we're at today, right? Who gives a flying flip about the fundamentals? If I own this stock, I'm losing money, and I'm losing money hand over fist every single day. And it ain't good. Not at all. Rick, what's up, dude? Rolling. It just has to. It has to. It should. It must. AMD stock is doing the limbo. How low can it go? I should have a lot more money. Dude, I think that every single day. I know exactly what you mean. Sebastian, Rick, this is proof. There are some parallel universes where AMD is trending up. Joseph, I saw some value investors recommending to buy it. Dude, those same value investors probably said it was an incredible value at 140. at 130, at 120, at 110. Dude, if you loved it at 140, by God, it must be the best deal of all time to buy it at 110. I like to equate this to like, actually, here's a great example. So I have an iPhone 13 Pro, right? I have tiny little hands, so I can't do the big old phones. Okay. My wife has a big phone. I hate it. My iPhone 13 Pro, when I bought it, probably, let's use round numbers, it was probably $1,000, right? Today, it still works, so I'm not doing anything with it. Today, this phone cascaded down in value and has been for ages, right? My phone has been losing value in ages because there's so many other things that people would want to buy that are going to push the price of those things up that my phone is losing value, okay? So as my phone is losing value, I decide I'm going to buy some more. I'm going to have 7 iPhone 13 Pros. High roller I am. I needed one phone for every day of the week. Bruh. I need a good boy phone and 6 naughty boy phones is what it is. Now, I have all these phones, and I think to myself, oh my God, I could probably sell them back to the marketplace. And I bet you that when I go to sell them, they were going down in price when I bought them, but I'm clever enough to know collectors are going to be looking for this. All right. Collectors are going to be looking for these iPhone 13 Pros, and they're not going to keep their hands off of it. And they go back out to the market. I averaged down, right? So my first one was 1,000. My next 6, let's say I averaged them all, and now the average price is 500. And I'm like, let's do this. And I go to sell it, and then the person who, on Craigslist, and Craig shows up, and Craig's like, bro, I'm going to give you $250 for all 7 total. And I'm like, wait, what? Wait, hold on just a cotton pick a minute here. You're telling me I bought this one phone for 1,000, and then I bought 6 more, and I brought my average price down to 500 each, and you're willing to offer me $250 for the lot? That's this. This is the market telling you they don't want what you have to sell. At some point, they may. At some point in the future, they may. But if you look at this and you put that outlier trend template on there and you say the 10 under the 20, price under the 50, it is mathematically going down in value. And if you choose to ride this down, there's no guarantee it ever comes back up. Ever. AMD may go down to a $17 stock. Hear me out. And you can have all the fundamentals you want, all the income statements and 14% year over year revenue growth and whatever. But if it goes down to a $17 stock, it has to like 10x just to get back to your break-even point. There's so much risk that goes into buying a stock on its way down that you can completely avoid, that you can sidestep, that you can say, nah, I don't want this one. I don't want that iPhone 13 Pro. I'll just wait for the next phone, right? It's like buying a car. It's a depreciating, AMD is a depreciating asset, okay? Plain and simple. AMD is a depreciating asset. Anybody who's buying it is just asking for it to go down.
What was the number I just showed you? They just grew in the most recent quarter 24%. So there's clearly a revenue acceleration story going on with AMD right now, where you're getting kind of like...
well, there's certainly an acceleration story, and it's an acceleration to the southern border, basically.
What happened with Palantir a couple years ago, where Palantir bottomed out growth and then just started growing more and more and more and more, quarter after quarter after quarter. This is exactly what we're seeing with AMD now at this point in time, right? Where the most recent growth is far exceeding the previous growth. So that's phenomenal. Additionally, if you look at the margins overall for the fiscal year 2024 versus their more recent margins, right? Look at the margins most recently, 51% on a GAAP basis, 54% on a non-GAAP basis, right? And then go ahead and look at the full year 2024, 49% and 53%. So recently the margins are getting better as well.
Okay. Margins are getting better. Okay. Price ain't. And if you're an AMD investor, only price pays, my friends.
So we have a revenue growth story that's accelerating and a margin growth story that's accelerating as well, right? Additionally, we have the profitability, the bottom line, earnings per share on a non-GAAP basis, obviously exploding to the upside as well. Now, if you look at the data center business, this is where the major growth is for the company. And this is honestly where...
Again, I'm going to fast forward. I just want to get to the point where he's like, please buy as much as you can. If he does. I don't know if he actually does. It could be like the most clickbait ever, which I know the YouTube game. That's what we have to do.
Complete disaster.
Okay,
I mean, this means woes over the past few years. And yeah, there's no debating that. Like AMD's winning, right? No, gaming segment is certainly not winning. Look at how bad the gaming segment business is for AMD in this most recent quarter. I mean, this is a disaster. There's no other way to put it. Business is in a complete disaster. Gaming revenue came in at $0.6 billion, $600 million for gaming segment. That's versus in this same quarter last year, $1.4 billion in revenue. Operating margin came in at 9% versus 16%. Ugly. Revenue was down 59% on a year. That's your 30 segment up again, in my opinion. And then we're going to be talking, I think by the end of this year, we'll be talking about gaming growing and ahead of where analysts are at. I wouldn't be surprised if they come in and beat that and maybe do 7.2s.
And why does this matter? Hang on. How far do I have to go? Please just tell me I want to buy all the AMDs I can. Okay.
Income that's completely ridiculous, right? And obviously last year they had a huge $300 million basically.
Who actually looks at these? Like who actually goes out and is like, oh, I tell you what, I need to buy some shares of a company today. I need to be a partial owner. So I need to go through and I need to evaluate all these financial statements to find out what is the very best. Listen, I have glasses, so I can do this. Well, very best investment to make. And AMD must be an incredible investment because by God, it's been going down in value. So therefore it must go back up because all the fundamentals are great. So I'm going to buy as much as I can. Ain't nobody do that. This is how investor psychology works. Okay. Ain't nobody do that. Investor psychology works like this. Okay. You've got, let me find it. Hang on. This one. You've got everybody who's like, hey, is this a good buy? Oh, wait. I've got a stock here that could really excel. Sell. Oh my God, sell. Everybody sell, right? This is investor psychology. This is how you make money in the market. Who's looking? Who on this? Because this is how the market works. Literally how the market works. Who's looking at financial statements? Nobody. All they're doing is looking at each other and saying, are you selling? I'm selling. I got to get out of here. And let's go look at AMD inside of Outlier real quick. Now, I know it did just get a buy signal. Now, I need to tell you how to interpret that, okay? Buy signals within a downtrend are your buy to close, okay? I learned this. I've traded with it. I've made money with it. In a downtrend, if you get a sell, that's a sell to open, a sell to go short. In that same downtrend, if you get the buy signal, that's the buy to close, right? So let me show you what I mean. We got this sell signal here on October 16th. And this buy signal here is the buy to close. Imagine you're going short here. You're closing the position here. That's what that says. Okay. So no, this is not an incredible investment opportunity inside of AMD. But look at the fear, right? The fear down here. Look at the fear. So the fear goes from 0 to 50. And right now it's at 24. It had peaked as high as 27, 28 down here. Right. The whole technology sector has been growing in greed, yet AMD is getting more and more fearful. More and more fearful. It's not even at like super high capitulation point in fear just yet. I mean, I think we're still right in the middle of the selling cycle here. Let me catch up on the chat. I know that there's been quite a lot of messages here. Simon asks, can you explain the 10-20-50 rule again, please? No problem. I'll explain it in both directions. So let's do one going north. I saw one hymns we looked at yesterday. I was like, whoa, you guys found a crazy one. Hymns, right? So your 10 over the 20, price over the 50. When your 10 period EMA is over your 20 period EMA, that is the indicator with the price over the 50 of an upward trend. Now you can see right here when it started, your 10 crossed over the 50, right? Or your 10 crossed over the 20, and then your price went over the 50. Now, what does that mean? What does that mean? So the 10 period moving average is 2 weeks, right? That's your 10 period moving average. That's a short-term moving average. Your 20 period moving average is 4 weeks, right? 4 times 5 is 20, right? That's your intermediate term moving average. And then your 50 period moving average, that's 10 weeks. That's like a longer term moving average. So when your short term is greater than your long term, when your short term is greater than your intermediate term and prices over your long term average, mathematically, this is a bullish trend. Now, listen, I didn't come up with this on my own. I remember having this exact conversation with Steve Burns, author of incredible trading books. And he asked me one day, he said, Chris, is it trending up or is it trending down? I was like, I have no idea, Steve. I don't know which direction the trend is going. He goes, dude, this is so easy. Just add a couple moving averages to your chart. Put these on. And I was like, whoa, that makes total sense, right? And it's math. This is not subject to interpretation. This is math. Because if your price today is greater than the average price of the last 10 days, that means prices are going up, right? Because the average price over the last 10 days is down, is lower. Okay. Now let's look at the opposite of that on AMD. You've got your 10 under the 20 with price under the 50. Now that doesn't mean that when this crosses over, it's going to rocket ship like hymns, right? That's not always the case, right? It can go, it can be a small trend, right? And trends do reverse. Trends do reverse. And sometimes you get into a trend and it jumps right back down the opposite direction, and you might lose a buck or two. You might win a buck or two, right? SoFi is a good example, because I was trying to tell everybody who would listen, if you're going to play SoFi earnings, be careful, because it's running right up into this order block here. And then it was coming down, price closed under the 50. And I said, this is now a bearish trend. Now it turned around and it went back up. And that's how quickly things can change, which is why as a trader, you need to be adaptable. You need to say, okay, either I'm wrong and I need to get out, or I'm right, but the market has fundamentally changed. I need to get out as well, right? And you may lose a buck or two here or there, but it keeps you out of trouble. It keeps you out of trouble. Gerard, it was Google he's not invested in. He has AMD. Oh, okay. That guy finally catching the stream again. That guy did. I'm losing 10% on AMD. I'm sorry, dude. I warned you. I warned you a lot. Coach B, you know what they say about small hands? Shut up, Coach B. I thought we were friends. TDC, Chris, which stocks in your opinion are currently trending up and are a good buy? Well, nothing's a good buy right now. Nothing at all. And I'll tell you why. Because if you look at the market, while the market itself is struggling in this trend right here, now you're probably thinking, but Chris, 10, 20, 50. I know. But price hasn't changed since November, right? Price is in the same range as November. And that's because it keeps breaking through, right? It keeps breaking all these moving averages. So even when it catches a break here, right, it has so much like weight behind it. It's not a very strong trend. And why is it not a very strong trend? You know it. I know it. Let's put it in the chat. Why is it not a very strong trend? Because the breadth is going out. The breadth is the number of stocks that are bullish. Breadth is the number of stocks there's 500 stocks that make up the S&P 500, right? Give or take. How many of those stocks are going up? How many of those stocks have peaked and are now coming back down? That's what this measures here. So in January 27th, this had peaked. And that's when I said, I'm going to cash. In fact, it was on my YouTube community post. I said, I'm going to cash. I'm staying in cash until this figures itself out. Now we're starting to see that accelerate, right? Why does it matter? If more stocks are getting sell signals, which is what this says, if more stocks are getting sell signals, that's going to put pressure on the market. And if more stocks are getting sell signals, it makes it so much harder. And I mentioned this on yesterday's live stream. If you have the opportunity to go back and look at your stocks when breadth is going up and you're buying the stocks, you will be amazed at how much easier it is to win. Amazed. My win rates are between 80 and 90%. And I wait for the trend of the market to be going up and the trend of the breadth to be going up. When they both work together, it's the easiest trading you've ever come across. You will be so stoked, right? Now, I've only put on 2 trades this year. That's the whole length of time that this has worked out. One of our traders, or at least a few of them, actually held one a little bit longer than I did and made way more money than I did in HSBC. But like, it doesn't line up all the time. It's only about 40% of the time that any trading strategy is going to work. What do you do in the meantime? You sit in cash. You don't F things up. That's what I like to say. Brian, so you have hand size envy. You get iPhone 6 at a steal now. Exactly. Just like AMD, you could get at a steal. Heck Tech. But to be fair, someone made smart money on long puts. Absolutely. There's always both sides of that trade. It wasn't me. Scottish guy. I'm a little late, but you can start again. No, you can get some popcorn and rewind the video. AMD will be Intel's twin sister. What's Intel look like? I don't even know. NTC. $19. Oh, that was a good one there. Yeah, look at this, right? Look at this. Oh, yes. Perfect example. Who did that? Who said that? Peter from the Netherlands. You get the gold star today. Check this out. INTC, right? There were people probably screaming when it was around $50 a share, kissing this order block up here, how great of a deal Intel would be as it goes down, right? Let's say, for example, it came down to 45 from 50, and they're like, oh man, what a deal. It's down 10%. You need to buy as much as you can. And then it goes down to 40. Hang on, let's do the percents here, right? Down 10%. Oh, you need to buy as much as you can. And then it goes down to 40 and it's down 20%. Oh, geez, maybe you should buy more. And then it goes down to 35 and 30 and then 25 and then 20 and it's down 62%. And at this point, you're probably thinking, maybe I should give up. Maybe I should give up. But what you actually just did was this. What you actually just did, what you just witnessed, this is this. This is how the market works, folks. I give you the rules. It's your choice if you're going to follow them or not. This is how the market works. I didn't make up the rules. A, I made some great money following the rules. And B, I found people who made buttloads of money. And I was like, maybe I should learn from them. And it has paid a lot. Thank you very much. Nathan, I love Jeremy, but he's wearing a Tesla hat, which is also super downtrending right now. Dude, I also own a Tesla. I have my Tesla Model Y Performance, which is the most fun car of all time. Yeah, Tesla's not looking great at all. I wouldn't buy this with your money. No way. Sell! Sebastian, I was in apps with the break-in of 52. Only got out 31. That was before knowing Chris. You're welcome. Bye. No one has that time. Thomas, I'm learning. RSI indicator combined with the trend and moving averages seems to be super powerful. To buy at 30 RSI and sell it overbought or broken EMS. Right track? It could be. I don't like to look at RSI. I mean, relative strength is absolutely a thing. But I don't know. It's not something I look at. I did in the past, but I don't look at it now. But it could be great for you. Absolutely. You're welcome. Angry Baker. I enjoy this channel because you don't try to shill anything and you provide value before I purchase Outlier. I am glad you found me, and I'm glad you found it, and that looks like a great cigar. Brian, Hims was good swing trade. Breadth, exactly. You guys know what I'm talking about. Keith didn't see any order box. Hi, Chris. Was a fact for the long-term trading. Oh, long-term. Gotcha. It depends, right? If you want to just be a long-term investor, just follow the 50 period, right? Just follow the 50 period. When price closes, and this is just math. Sorry, just math here. When price closes under the 50, that means it's trending down and 50 moving average. If price closes over the 50, it means that price is trending up. And it may, every once in a while, chop you up. You may lose $1 or $2 here and there. But then again, you don't have to touch it for months at a time. If it's going in your direction, just let it go. Paul Rothenberg. Hey, man. Market breadth calculator from Outlier stocks are all the S&P. So this is calculated on all of the stocks that we cover, which is 2,500 stocks. You can actually look at just the S&P. You can look at whatever sector you want. You can look at only the ETFs. I like to look at the full stocks. And then when I do find some stocks to trade, I'll even go into and find the breadth of that sector. For example, financials, right? Financials peaked hard and are falling fast, right? Financials got as high as 82%. And think of it this way. If everybody is a buyer, well, if everybody's already bought, what's left for them to do? You're welcome for the books. Eddie, do you mind taking a look at crowd? I'll take a look at crowd and then we'll get back to the video. CRWD. Ooh, CrowdStrike just made a new order block right under where it's at today. So if it closes above that, it'll actually go away. But CrowdStrike looks great. Especially, this is what I want to see. 10 over 20, price over the 50, leading up into earnings. Yeah, I love that kind of trade. So CrowdStrike looks all right. Oh, wait. Yeah, it is CrowdStrike. Okay. So let's get back to this. All right, let's rank this video. Of course, I skipped a lot of it. Sorry, Jeremy. I know you watch. But let's rank it. You rank it. You rank it. You tell me. You rank it. Anthony says, thanks. Eddie says, I did that. Sean UK says, next up for Ajeza, Intel. Ooh, lots of 2s, lots of 3s, lots of 2s. We got a 1 in there. Paul asks, when setting up stop loss, why not set the option price versus stock price? One reason I don't like to set stops on option prices is they can widen out crazy. And you've seen it too, Paul, right? When it's after hours and your stock may have been 10 cents wide on the bid and ask, it may be 45 cents wide, right? And if I'm setting my stop and it happens to trip that, fudge, right? That sucks. I've been there. So I don't put any stops in the market at all. I am only chart based. 1s, 2s, 3s. Keith, I see a terrible chart. Terrible chart. Look at CELH. Oof. Okay. Right? Why is this a terrible chart? Your 10 is under the 20, price is under the 50. The stock price has been moving down for ages. Do we cover it in Outlier? I don't know. CELH. Yeah, we do. Cool. Oh my gosh. I just saw this news story over here. Celsius Holdings is attracting investor attention. Here's what you should know. Bro, here's what you should know. No, I'm staying away from that. No, thank you. Look at the fear down here. We've got like mega fear 24. Oh, actually, it's not mega fear. Now, this sell signal was a sell to short and then a buy to close. So around 29, 28, made a couple. I don't know. Wasn't the best short signal ever. But yeah, that's not a buy to open. Yikes. CELH is brutal. All right. -1. Jeremy loves, does he really? No way. No way. Oh, he does. Okay. You're not making it up. Joe, any insights on APLD would be lovely. Celsius is another big Jeremy. Is it really? Couch Investor, and he said you could have it soon. Couch Investor also watches us. Oh man, why is it a thing with these guys to buy these beat up bad stocks? I think the misleading of this video is awful, almost predatory, messing with new traders' minds and money. But you know what? That's what gets the clicks, Mikey Mike. Look at the tattooed chef. You know what? Actually, I hadn't mentioned this before, but I did see. Oh, it's gone. I did see when Jeremy pushed the tattooed chef a while ago, like years ago, and I looked at the chart and I was like, oof. I think, yeah, oof. Yeah, Couch Investor still. Look, I don't mind Couch Investor, but like, because he watches too. Yikes. Okay, y'all rank this video. I'm not even gonna rank it. I'm trying to stay on Jeremy's good side since he watches. Now let's get back to trading. So what is outlier and how does it work? Well, old Uncle Warren used to say, be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful. Outlier shows you if investors are acting irrationally fearful or greedy and by how much, allowing you to get in the stock before the outlier move happens. Now, as you know, I'm going to tell you I don't have any trades today, but when I do, they will be live right here. You can trade along with me if you choose to. It is full transparency. I show you everything. Okay. But in the meantime, I love me some cash and I also love to save you some money. You can get the Outlier annual pass for just 82 cents a day. That's 64% off. But this sweetheart deal, as we're calling it, will end on February 14th. Mahesh was like, we are not extending this again, Chris. It will end on February 14th. Okay. If you have the trial and want to upgrade, just send us an email. And my style of trading, I call the golden ticket trading strategy. Only price pays in this, right? It's the Outlier trend template. It starts there with the 10 over the 20, price over the 50. Let the market tell you where it's going. So we go to the SPY and we have the price has a 10 over the 20, prices over the 50. Now, yesterday, or the day before when I circled this here, this is one of my exit criteria, like abandoned ship criteria. If it closes under the 20, wait until it gets back over the 10 to trade again. So it did close back over the 10 yesterday and again today. So it might be recovering this trend here. But what it is not recovering is market breadth, which is the next step, right? We're going to find that market breadth. We want to be trending upward, right? We want that market breadth to be expanding and not contracting. That's the financials. Let's go back to the full stocks here and zoomy. Yeah, you can see here, this is going hard and fast. Now, what does this measure? This measures our bull and bear list. So how many stocks are on the bull list? You get on the bull list by getting a buy signal. So today there's 18 new stocks on the bull list, where there's 68 new stocks on the bear list. So the bear list is growing. That's what this is showing here. The bull list shrinking, the bear list growing. And so for me, that is a complete disqualifier, right? I want to see the SPY that has a buy signal still. The market trend is north, the market breadth is south. And then I would look at sector breadth. But if this doesn't all work together, I would gladly sit in cash, and I'll sit in cash for weeks. It doesn't hurt me to sit in cash, right? And cash is just, a no risk trade. And when there's no risk in the market, or if there's no reason to take a trade, don't be getting into the market. Larry Hite, one of the market wizards that I worked with, first $1 billion hedge fund manager, he said, if you decide to put on a trade when it doesn't set up in your trading system, you have completely invalidated your trading system. Just throw it out the window. If you can't even follow your own plan that you made, then you shouldn't be in this business to begin with. So words from Larry here. So much in the chat going on here, but it's super stoked to see all you guys. And we'll end it with Peter right there. Sitting in cash means go study. That's right. Go study so you don't get monkey hammered. So, of course, tell me what you're trading in the chat, and be sure to come back tomorrow, or I'll help you save time, make money, and start winning with less risk together as a team. YouTube is going to click a couple, or YouTube's going to pop up a couple recommended videos. I recommend you watch one of them, and I also recommend you have a fantastic day.